Do me and everyone else a favor. If you are going to do a random act of kindness, if you are going to be kind and charitable, keep it to yourself. Keep your good deeds to yourself. We as a society, of course, facilitated by social media, are always performing. We never really cease trying to present the world a filtered highlight reel of ourselves. And some of the most egregious examples of this are in terms of good deeds and charity. We all love to see a random act of kindness that just happened to get caught on camera. And since we have a lot of cameras, occasionally it happens. But with all things social media, if there is something real and organic, and that real and organic thing gets a lot of likes, the fakery will quickly follow. And look, I'm not saying that every act of kindness that gets posted on the internet is fake, but completely ignoring the possibility of fakery for a moment, what does it say about the modern person that whenever they do something good and charitable, they need to pull out their phone and record? They can't just do the nice thing, they have to show it to everyone else. In this guy's case, he found a shopping list sitting in a bathroom stall and then decided to do the shopping for whoever lost the list. He gathered all the items, refrigerated goods and all, into a cart, and then, guess what? He just left the cart. I think we all know some staff member had to put all of those items back, and all he really did was inconvenience someone because he really wanted those screen points. I really think we're starting to lose our ability to differentiate between what's real and fake on social media, since the fakery is just so common, and what appears to be real is also just so ridiculous. The lines between the two are exceptionally blurred. But again, we have a lot of cameras. Every once in a while, they are bound to capture something that's real and genuine. But it gets exceptionally ridiculous when you see a random act of kindness, or anything for that matter, that just happens to get caught on film, but the cinematography is just way too good. In this instance, they gave some guy $50 and a nice note, managed to get these perfect cinematic close-up shots on the facial expressions, and then wow, guess what? The guy turns around and gives the money to a homeless man. Isn't that nice? Now, am I saying this is fake? Not necessarily, but they very obviously did this good deed with the intentions of recording it and putting it on social media. We know this simply because it was recorded and posted on social media. And why would they do that? Yeah, I think we know why. Besides the obvious malintent of someone faking or maybe cinematically dramatizing a good deed for social media validation, again, what does it say about someone that their first instinct when doing something commendable is to record it so that they can be commended? Like this guy who was helping an old timer up the stairs. Wow, that's very sweet of him. Here's the thing though. If you are helping a frail old person who uses a cane up a flight of stairs, it is irresponsible of you to not have both hands free. Because what happens if they slip and you can't provide the necessary support because one of your hands is occupied by your recording phone? Look, everyone's glad you helped someone up the stairs, but why did you have to record it? Again, if your impulse to do something kind for someone is immediately followed and therefore truly motivated by an equal or maybe even more powerful desire to post or otherwise tell everyone what you just did, then you are not actually a good person. You just want to be seen as a good person. You are not motivated by a desire to be kind and charitable. You are motivated by the approval of others. Like this lady here who decided to give the staff at this establishment a $50 tip.
Can you do 50, please?
$50?
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
Great. That's very kind of you. But why did you record it? She ends the TikTok by saying, "Go spread love and kindness." So I guess that's her stated purpose for doing it. I can think of another reason she might have done it. But if you want to spread love and kindness, then do exactly that. If you want to spread kindness, you don't do that by telling the world about your kindness. You do that by doing kindness. Having something kind done to you, having something generous done for you, is a much stronger motivator to do the same for others than seeing a hyper-performative TikTok. As soon as you intentionally go out of your way to share what you did, your good deed is void. If you are a Christian, you are no longer bringing glory onto God through your good deeds. Now you're just bringing glory onto yourself. And though you think that at the very least you are doing a good deed for someone, in reality you are using them to get social media validation. The motivation is important. Yeah, you just gave money or some food to a homeless man, but when you do it for social media, now this homeless man isn't a real person. He's just your prop. You are using someone else's plight to get fleeting hits of dopamine, and frankly, that kind of makes you more or less a pathetic weasel of a person. I really hate this impulse we have developed, where whenever there's something happening in front of us, we don't get involved, we don't live in the moment. At the very least, we pull out our phones and record. Look, it's heartwarming to know that someone was able to get these stray dogs out of harm's way. And look, I understand the inherent risks of getting out of your vehicle in the middle of a busy road. And maybe I'm asking too much here, but I can't help but think that maybe there's something that you could have done to help instead of just sitting there recording. From the video, it doesn't even look like she bothered to turn her hazard lights on before pulling out her phone to record. There is, of course, the more cliche critique of social media, which is that people are living through their screens and not living in the moment. Here, it is exceptionally applicable. Why don't you appreciate the heartwarming moment that you just created instead of making sure you get a good camera angle so your post gets more likes? Hey, since someone else is putting themselves at risk by helping someone else, why don't you keep your head on a swivel and look out for them instead of narrowly watching the whole thing through your phone screen? The internet has created a society of psychopaths that are all running around saying, look at me, look at this good thing I did. In the past, charity was something done to take care and support your community. In the modern upside-down world, charity is something you write off on your taxes and use for social media clout. If your charity, if your good deeds are for show, if you are performing, if you are showing and telling everyone the good things you did, they're not real. You are not a good person. You are someone who wants to be seen as a good person. So here's what I've decided to do, and I think you should do the same. When you do something good, when you do something kind, consciously make an effort to not share it. Don't tell anyone. Just keep it to yourself. Just appreciate the good feeling you get from doing something good instead of killing it with screen points. If you want to make the world a better place, you do that by doing instead of showing and telling. I gave money to homeless. I need to tell you this so that I can feel something. I desperately need to be the center of attention. I should probably find help. I think my brain's been poisoned from my own social media posting. Despite all the good deeds and charity, it's very clear that I'm just full of myself. Okay, now go do something good and then don't tell me or anyone else about it. And also don't tell them you're not going to tell them, because that also just kind of defeats the purpose.